This is my second video update coming to you from downtown Nicosia, Cyprus. Let's talk about what's going on in Ukraine. And as I mentioned in my morning video, we do indeed have a big push from the Ukraine military in the Kherson region. And this is the third, fourth, fifth wave of the counteroffensive. I'm getting information that 10,000 troops, Ukraine troops, will be involved in this advance, and then they're going to and they're bringing up another 20,000 troops as well from Odessa, and you're going to be looking at about a total of 30,000 Ukraine military who are going to make a big push to try and advance into Kherson. And it's like I said in the morning video, I try to keep things simple. The strategy for Ukraine, for NATO, for the collective West is let's throw everything we got, all our manpower, let's throw it all at them, and let's throw it at the Kherson region, which is what they consider to be the most vulnerable, and let's try to score a win. Let's try to get a W. And if we can get that W, then the collective West is thinking, if we can get that win, then it justifies all the billions that we've sent. It'll calm down the citizens from their protests. We'll be able to go back to them and tell them, look, we're beating the Russians and we're making advances, and all of the money and the weapons and the sacrifice that you're making is not being wasted. That is the big plan, and they're going to throw everything they have in Kherson to score that W, and it's manpower versus Russian artillery. But let me read you what Brian at the New Atlas just posted on his Telegram channel, hot off the Telegram presses. Let me find it here. Give me 1 second. From Brian, the New Atlas. If you're not plugged into his Telegram channel, definitely join his Telegram. And while you're at it, join the Duran's Telegram as well. Brian said, cross here. These cars, we kind of just turn in here pretty quick. Brian said, Ukraine is throwing everything it has left at Russian forces around Kherson, struggling to maintain meager gains. The problem is they picked Kherson because it's perceived as among the easiest areas to attack along Russian lines, and they've still lost thousands. Short of shocking Russian forces out of their positions, which clearly didn't happen, they are simply reverting to the same type of combat they've been slowly losing territory amid. Only with this extra concentration of forces, they prepared for this botched offensive. With Russian reinforcements on their way, both to Kherson and the special military operation in general, Kherson won't even be among the easiest to attack. Now, 30,000 soldiers, Ukraine. I've heard rumors, and these are just rumors. I've heard mercenaries, Polish mercenaries, US, UK, NATO, more HIMARS. Let me turn in here, where we're going to find the cicadas. We can listen to some cicadas and sit down for a sec. It is a hot day. We have a lot of NATO forces, which, from what I understand, are also involved in this big counteroffensive, or off the record NATO forces. I don't want to say NATO forces. Off the record NATO forces. 30,000 troops are going to be thrown in the Kherson direction, and I would imagine that first of all, Brian, I think, is spot on right. They looked at the situation and they said, look, we could score an easy W in Kherson. We got to go for it. We got to get that W. If we get that W, we're going to calm down our people. will be able to justify more money, more weapons, keep the grift going, keep the money flowing, keep filling our pockets, perhaps deal a PR blow to Putin, weaken the Kremlin. I'm sure all of these things are going through their heads, and so they picked Kherson. They said, "Let's just go for it." And if all fails, if everything fails, we can just pin it on Zelensky. Just pin it on Zelensky and just say the guy's a nutcase, and he blew it. So Zelensky also has to score some type of W. Now, what was I going to say? I expect in the next couple of days for the Ukraine military, as they go through this huge advance, as they try to accomplish this advance, I expect villages to be taken. I expect a lot of photos of Ukrainian flags being raised. I expect a lot of the Twitterverse and Telegram and the mainstream media talking up a successful Ukraine counterattack. Trouble at the Kremlin, Putin upset with Shoigu, things are falling apart in Russia. I expect all of this stuff to happen. And I do expect, I wouldn't be surprised if a significant amount of villages on the front line change hands. But how are they going to hold on to this? Number one, how is Ukraine going to hold on to this? And I think that's a point that Alexander makes all the time, and that's a point that I know Brian at the New Atlas makes all the time. Okay, fine, a village changes hands. Ukraine advances a little bit. Two, these... The flies in Cyprus and the mosquitoes, the insects are super aggressive here. Super aggressive. Anyway, they're gonna advance, and they may take some territory. But how are they going to keep it? How are they going to hold on to it? At what cost is all of this going to come? Thousands and thousands of lives. I know that NATO and the collective West, they're ready to sacrifice those lives, but what about the people of Ukraine? How much can they endure? Probably a lot. Probably a lot, but the Russians, my final point, the Russians know this is happening and they know it's going to happen. Remember the video that I put up on my morning update of all the military assets moving from Crimea? The Russians know this was going to happen. The Russians know this is happening. And everything that I'm telling you and everything that everyone is telling you is stuff that I'm sure the Russian military already knew, weeks ago. I'm positive of it. So, you might get some temporary wins. This is my opinion. You might get some temporary wins and a lot of good PR wins in the next week. But I don't know. I think something just tells me that the Russian military is onto this. They knew this was coming, and they're okay to trade a couple of villages and this 1 week in big PR spin from the collective West in order to deliver a bigger blow down the line. That's how I'm seeing things. I could be completely off once again, and this may turn into a big advance, and the Ukraine military may push further deeper towards the direction of Kherson, say. I mean, you're going to be looking at a very long offensive that's going to be needed in order to get to Kherson, but maybe. But all signs to me are saying that once this third and fourth and fifth wave get underway and get moving, and certain territorial gains are swapped between both sides, that it's just gonna run out of steam, and you're gonna have to ask yourself, now what? Okay, now we've got these territorial gains. Now we got to hold this territory, and we're going to do it without air support, without everything that's needed to hold this territory. And then you have all the Russian reinforcements coming in. So I'm going to try to dodge this fly that's attacking me. That's the update there. That is the update with this the latest news on this counteroffensive. And let's get moving to the next story. And here I want to talk about what's going on in Serbia, because you have a letter that was sent to Vucic the other day, and it was sent by Macron and Scholz. And they told Vucic, let me try to find this article here and also find some shade. They told Vucic that he's got to make some very tough decisions in the future. And that of course is related to Kosovo, and the fact that that the French and the German leaders are telling Vucic that he's going to have to normalize ties between Kosovo and Serbia. Quote, "We urge you to show maximum determination and willingness to make difficult decisions that will promote the dialogue between Kosovo and Serbia under the auspices of the EU." Scholz and Macron wrote, adding that the recent standoff between Belgrade and Pristina over identity documents and license plates has shown the need for constructive steps. The key phrase there is under the auspices of the EU. That is the key phrase. And they're telling Vucic and they're telling Serbia it's time to make difficult decisions, which means agree to our demands, pretty much. The normalization of Kosovo means the recognition of Kosovo, and it also means for Serbia to get with the program. That's what the EU is telling Serbia. It's time for you to recognize Kosovo, to normalize relations with Kosovo, and then to enter the EU. Why the pressure? Why the panic and the pressure from the EU? Well, take a look at the panic right now with the counteroffensive in Kherson. You know, they're throwing, once again, the collective West, they're throwing everything they have now at Russia, at this fair world order, right? Let's just call it the fair world order. They're throwing everything they have. This is a big push to tie up everything, to get a win in Kherson, to deliver a blow to Putin, to finally get Serbia on side, to finally claim Kosovo. This is it, because if Russia ends up wrapping this thing up, if Ukraine collapses, then you know, this is the collapse, the possible collapse of the European Union. You know, look at the protests that are taking place just now in the first week of September. You've got big protests. What's going to happen in a month? What's going to happen in 2 months? You know, the leaders of the collective West, they're worried that they're going to lose power. That's what drives them is their lust, their desire to hold power. And a victory in Ukraine from Russia, an economic victory, Serbia moving more towards Russia, you know, finally saying, okay, we're done with dealing with the EU and we're done with all of this stuff. Our future lies east. Take a look at where the euro is to the dollar. Take a look at where the euro is to the dollar. 1 euro today was at 0.987 to the USD. I remember when it was $120, like about a year ago, it was $1.20, $1.20 to a euro. And now a euro is 99 cents. They need wins. The collective West leadership, they are scrambling for wins. And if they can strong arm Vucic, if they can threaten him, if they can perhaps bait him into opening up a second front maybe in Kosovo and Serbia, something. They're looking for wins. They're looking for ways to get out of this collapse that they themselves have initiated. And so that is why you're seeing the panic from the EU and from Macron and Scholz with regards to Serbia and to Kosovo. because they realize that if they don't tie things up now, and if Russia delivers the results that many expect Russia to deliver in Ukraine, and given the economic trajectory of things for Europe, the collapse of the EU economies, the deindustrialization of EU economies of Germany, if they don't turn things around now, then it's lights out. We are going to enter into a real multipolar world order, a definitive multipolar world order. So the next month or two is going to be absolutely crucial and critical. And finally, I want to talk about Cyprus and Turkey. I do want to talk about Cyprus and Turkey. And Erdogan, he gave some pretty big warnings to Cyprus and Turkey. What did I say? Well, Greece, Cyprus, and Turkey. Greece, Cyprus, and Turkey. But mostly Greece and Turkey, because Erdogan, he came out with some statements the other day. Let me sit down here. And he directed his statements towards Greece. And Erdogan, he told Greece on Saturday to start pulling back. Greece is, I don't want to say militarization, but Greece is, it's such a weird, I'm trying to figure out the way to phrase this. Greece's military buildup on its own territory, I guess, is the way you can describe it. He's basically warning Greece not to build up its military forces on its own territory, specifically many of the islands that are close to Turkey. He accused Greece of using Russian-made S-300 missile systems in Crete to lock onto Turkish jets. That happened in middle to late August. He also said that Greek F-16s have harassed Turkish jets by putting them under a radar lock during a NATO mission over the Eastern Mediterranean. And he said that he is going to take all this information, this Greek military buildup on its islands, this incident with the Turkish jets, the S-300s, and he's going to submit it to NATO. And he's going to go to NATO and say, look what they're doing. I mean, he also threatened Greece. He said, you occupying the islands doesn't bind us. When the time comes, we'll do what's necessary. As we say, we may come down suddenly one night. And Erdogan said, look at history. If you go further, the price will be heavy. We have one sentence to Greece. Don't forget Izmir. So that's what he said in reference to the defeat of Greek forces in the western city by Turkish military in 1922. And just a general ratcheting up of tensions from Erdogan. Now, Greece, on their part, they're saying that Turkey is constantly invading Greek airspace, Turkish jets, and Greece is pretty much saying that this is our territory, these are our islands, and we're gonna do whatever we want to do on our sovereign territory. And these claims by Turkey are ridiculous, that are coming from Erdogan. And of course, Greece is also taking all this information that they're gathering with response to Turkey, and they're packaging it up, and they're going to take it to NATO and to the European Union and the US. So both sides are going to, I don't know, both sides are going to mommy and daddy, and they're going to complain and say, look, they're doing this and they're doing that, and mommy and daddy are going to take a look, and they're going to be like, okay, well, kids, make up for now, or let's calm down because, we've got a bigger fish to fry in the form of Russia and Vladimir Putin. But in all seriousness, look, here's my quick thoughts on this, and I'll dig deeper into this story if this really does develop into something bigger. But, we're, over the years, speaking as a Greek and someone who lives in Greece and in Cyprus, I mean, we're used to this type of rhetoric from Erdogan. And I'm sure Turkey is going to say we're used to the Greeks' aggressive nature towards us. I'm sure both sides are going to say the same thing over the years. Both sides have been used to antagonizing each other if we want to play fair and down the middle. But the part that's most interesting about this recent uptick in rhetoric to me, the game changer is that for the first time in a long time, probably ever, Russia is on Turkey's side, unequivocally on Turkey's side, neutral at best, on Turkey's side at worst, because Greece is considered an unfriendly nation towards Russia. Turkey is considered a friendly nation. Cyprus is still considered a friendly nation, to be honest. We haven't been moved into the unfriendly bucket for Russia. But Greece is without a doubt an unfriendly nation towards Russia. So in the past, Russia could play a mediating role. It could calm things down between both sides, and it was able to mediate between both sides. Now, that's not the case. At least in my opinion, that's not the case. I'm not saying Russia wants any kind of military confrontation. I don't think any side wants that. But in this instance, Russia is now looking at Greece as unfriendly and looking at Turkey as a necessary partner. NATO is going to tell both sides to calm down, and of course they're going to put some pressure on Turkey to try and tell Turkey ditch Russia, as they've been trying now for the past 6 months. The EU, look, Germany is definitely on side with Turkey. If you had to start splitting up allegiances, France is on side with Greece. The US, I would say, is more on side with Turkey, even though Biden hates Erdogan and Erdogan hates Biden. The US deep state definitely always puts Turkey on top from a geopolitical perspective over Greece. Always. Turkey is a much more important nation than and a location. Better not a nation, say a location. It's a much more important location for the United States than Greece. So I would actually say that if you're looking at the U.S., they would also side with Turkey over Greece, even though appearances, Bidenopoulos being Greece's favorite son, you would say that appearances would show that the U.S. is aligned with Greece. I think the U.S., the real power in the United States, always leans towards Turkey. Always. And the U.K., without a doubt, Turkey. Without a doubt. The U.K. is fully on board with whatever Turkey wants. When it comes to Greece, the U.K. is not on Greece's side. So, I guess when you add up everything, looking at both columns, Greece probably comes out a little behind on the checklist if you had to stack both sides up against each other. But either way, I don't expect anything to happen here, but something could set this off. I don't expect it, but you never know. It's not good to have these tensions. Erdogan, he's going into an election coming soon, I believe next June. And it's not a guarantee he'll win. It's not a guarantee at all. I expect him to win, but it's not guaranteed. So, he may be ratcheting things up for election purposes. We have the discovery of gas in the Mediterranean and by Cyprus, and Turkey's not going to let that happen. But Cyprus is trying to play it like they're this big gas country now, which is just absurd and ridiculous. I don't believe in the gas finds from Cyprus at all. I think it's pie in the sky stuff. And if it does happen, I think you're looking at 20 years. We've been hearing about these big gas finds for the last 20 years and how Cyprus and Greece are going to become the next Dubai or something, the next Saudi Arabia, I don't know, all this energy, all this oil and gas, whatever, in the Mediterranean, and Aegean is going to make all the Greeks uber wealthy, and the Cypriots. This is pie in the sky stuff. But either way, I think Turkey is going to protect its position in the Mediterranean with regards to energy. And so this could be one of the reasons that they're ratcheting up tensions. It could be a lot of different reasons. I just don't think we're going to head into... I don't see it. I mean, I'm here. I don't see it in the air. I don't get that vibe that we're heading into some dangerous times. But you never know. The tensions are not good. You never know. Either way, they've run to daddy. They've run to mommy. NATO, the US, the EU. Who cares? The EU's useless. So they've run to the US and to NATO, and they're saying, look, he did this, he did that, and I'm pretty confident, not 100%, but I'm pretty confident that things will ratchet down. That's all I have to say there. I'll follow up on this story, and if things gets tense, If things go really, really dark, well, I'm here on the ground. I'm here. So you'll be the first to know from me if things go really bad. But those are my thoughts with this tension. Let me do one more quick story, and that has to do with the travel ban and the Russian travel ban. This time, a statement from Lavrov. Lavrov has said that Russia will not retaliate in kind. They're not going to do an EU citizens travel ban. This is what Lavrov said. He actually called the EU leaders. He called their decisions stupid. He called it stupid. And I'm reading this from the Russian news sources. This hasn't really hit. This is from interfax.ru. It hasn't really hit the English media yet, nor do I think it will. But he said, "Мы не должны, я считаю, иди, поэтому же будете отвечать глупостью на глупость." Basically, he's calling the EU decision stupid. And I'll put it up on the screen right now for everyone to see it. But in the basic Russian that I know, he's basically saying that this is a pretty dumb decision from the EU, and Russia is not going to respond with this kind of stupid reciprocity. They're not going to follow the same path of stupidity, is pretty much what Lavrov said. He also said that this travel ban on Russia is meant to punish the Russian people. Of course, it's meant to punish the Russian people. That's an obvious. That's a given. So that's a statement from Lavrov. And like I said, that's in Russian media. And I don't know if it'll make it to the Western media, but it looks like right now from the foreign ministry in Russia that, I don't know, maybe they're watching my channel, but I'm just joking. I know they're not, but if they are, or even if they're not, I think they've taken the right decision. And it looks like they're going to sit on this decision from the EU with regards to the travel ban. They're going to pick their retaliation in an asymmetrical way, in a different way, and they're not just going to cancel EU visas to Russia. And that's very, very smart. So with that said, do I have a clown world? Gosh, I don't know if I have a clown world, to be quite honest. I have a couple of stories. They're not really clown worlds. They were talking about Putin going to the G20. Peskov, the Kremlin spokesman, he was talking about Putin attending the G20, and it's not a definite that he's going to attend in person. I thought that was interesting. So it's still not decided, even though Indonesia, they said that both Putin and Xi Jinping will be there in person. It's not a definite. And that was a statement from the Kremlin. And we also had Peskov saying that Putin doesn't use any social media. I thought that was interesting. I thought that was very, very interesting. No Telegram, nothing. And actually Peskov said that it would be kind of fake for Putin to pass off the media to someone else. In other words, for it to be like Vladimir Putin, like his Telegram channel, and then to have just a team of people actually manning that channel, actually sending messages, not coming from Putin himself. And he said that would kind of just be, that would be fake. And he's right. It would be fake. So he said, then he said, of course, Putin just doesn't have the time. He just does not have the time to deal with social media. He's busy doing other stuff. So I thought those were interesting comments. I'm looking for the quote from Peskov. He said, Putin doesn't read Telegram channels, but he receives reviews. So he gets reviews from various Telegram channels, as he says, from a whole bunch of other sources. Okay. That's interesting. He's getting briefed from all kinds of sources. He says, Peskov said that using a smartphone means voluntary exhibitionism and a total information transparency, which is unimaginable for any world leader. Putin himself said that while he can always borrow an age phone if needed, he prefers to use an old-style government line to instantly get in touch with anyone. He said Putin doesn't even have a cell phone. Last year, Peskov said that Putin would never set up a personal social media account and delegate the job to an advisor because he considers it wrong if someone else would manage a public profile on his behalf. So that was the full statement. I thought that was interesting. It's not really a clown world, but interesting nonetheless. And I don't know if this is a clown world. I thought this was a weird story, but did you guys hear about cinemas in Germany where they get people to ride bicycles, like stationary exercise bikes, in order to power up the cinemas? I don't know if that's true or not. I'll put up a video for everyone to see on the screen. But supposedly in Germany, the audience pedals for 2 hours, and it provides energy to power up the cinema. I don't know how true that is. The video looks like a bunch of people riding their bikes while watching something, so maybe it is true. But if that's true, then gosh, we really are becoming lab rats, aren't we? Is that our future? Are they going to make us like ride stationary bikes so we can power up the grid for the Davos elite? Keep the lights on in Bill Gates' mansion. We're going to have to like ride bicycles. It's like real Matrix stuff, isn't it? Anyway, that's the video, guys. theduran.locals.com. Take care. So in my second video update, I wasn't sure what my clown world was going to be. And so I came to this Costa Coffee here in Nicosia, Cyprus. I'm in the parking lot right now. And as I was editing my second video, I saw the news come in that Liz Truss is now the Prime Minister of the UK. She beat out Sunak, 81,000 votes for Liz Truss to Sunak's like 61,000 votes or something like that. Liz Truss is the new Prime Minister for the UK. She said in her speech, "Boris, you got Brexit done. You crushed former Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn. You rolled out the shot and you stood up to Russian President Vladimir Putin. You are admired from Kiev to Coal Island." Yeah, he's admired in Kiev. I just don't think he's admired anywhere else, Boris Johnson. But anyway, the clown world is Liz Truss is now the Prime Minister of the UK. And this is kind of a bittersweet moment for me because I know, for all of us actually, we all know that Liz Truss is going to provide us with many, many clown worlds going forward. But I guess we have to retire Boris Johnson's jersey, his number. His number is going to be retired for clown world, I imagine. I don't think we'll see Boris in many more clown worlds going forward. He was the king, but long live the new king, or should we say the new queen, in Liz Truss for clown worlds going forward. Anyway, that is the video, guys. Take care.